Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're in the middle of Group G in the round of 32 of the CNSL Season 6. This is the losers match. We have our Chinese Zerg player XiaoShuai, a very strong Zerg, going up against Promise, an up-and-coming Korean Protoss player. Well, I mean, I said at the beginning of the group, I did feel these were the two weakest players. Well, I definitely said that about Promise, but I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying that all the non-Korean players are underdogs, but XiaoShuai is a good Zerg, so I'm looking forward to this game. I could see XiaoShuai taking this. That definitely is a possibility. He's shown us some very good ZVPs on this channel in the past. Definitely you can type his name in and find quite a few of them. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I have definitely casted over 10 games of XiaoShuai's ZVP for this channel. Not sure exactly how many, but it's a lot. So, you know, we saw a very aggressive 3-hatch Hydra in his first game. It got scouted by a probe as opposed to a Corsair, so that's a much quicker scout, much easier to hold. And Storms ended up saving Motive, so, you know, that's... The all-in, like, he did it pretty well, but it just, there was too much info, and the build order was too tight from his opponent. I do hope that he shows a bit of variety here. I don't just want to see like a 3-hatch and just go all in regardless of whether you've been scouted or not. Excuse me. But yeah, I guess we'll just see what he's going to pull out here. Promise going up with the scout right now. It is a gateway expansion opener here on Dark Origin. And yeah, he'll get in and see that this is, I believe this was an overpool. I wasn't paying super duper close attention, but you know, you're going to have to defend a little bit with your Zealot. You know, you generally will keep Zealots at home for this. Maybe he sends the first one out and saves the second. We'll see. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the casts here. Hope you're enjoying the CNSL. If you do want to support the channel, subscribing is a great way. Of course, the Patreon works as well. Patreon.com/Artosis. If not, no problem. But the link is down in the description if you'd like to check it out. Going to be working on that relatively soon. Try to give a few perks to those wonderful people. So thank you guys so much for those who have supported there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the ArtosisCasts channel. This has actually become... it's definitely gone through ups and downs over the years, right? I've had it going for at least a couple years now, my God. But, you know, I've definitely gone through times where I'm like, oh, I don't like this tournament I'm casting. I'm not having too much fun with it. But more recently, I've had so many great matches to put on the channel, and especially CNSL. This is one of the big ones that I really love. And, you know, there's sometimes 2 CNSLs a year, so... I love kind of grouping this together right now, getting the better graphics going, just making it a more interested, better story of a tournament, because honestly, it's like, it's one of my favorite tournaments personally. ASL, obviously, the GOAT, and I'll be casting ASL with Tasis. Again, not on this channel, though. Anyways, we have the Forge coming up. We have the Cybernex Core going up. Notice that the Cybernex Core is here at the front, and the Forge is here in the back. He doesn't want to lose upgrades. If you do open up a gateway expansion and things fall the right way, this is generally considered better than putting this at the front and your Cybernex Core in your main base. Just the upgrades to the Zealots or the gateway units in general are more important than the core. It just, they take so long, and it's like, oh, what if a Hydra bus comes, you know, when you're getting +1 air? Well, I mean, you cancel +1 air if a Hydra bus is coming, so who cares? Right? You're not going to make Dragoons. It's fine. It's fine. You can remake it later. Anyways, we have a Photon Cannon coming up. Just a few lings here and there. You know, still chasing that probe. He's using that same tactic we saw before, by the way. So he has 2 probes down here, just keeping an eye on possible Zealot move-outs, etc. And then he has the 3 sitting back. You'll recall that I mentioned this before, that he's not like a super try-hard on getting the probe. Instead, he wants to block it from going into the main base. In the game where Motive figured it out, what was going on, it's because a Zealot went to pressure across the map and he had to pull his links, so the probe was able to slip in at that point. Without a Zealot on the map right now, the probe literally has no chance. Now, he should have seen that there was Zergling speed there at the very last second. Spire is coming up here for XiaoShuai. Citadel of Adun, as well as a Stargate. So all pretty standard, pretty normal stuff that we're looking at from Promise. Yeah, not not a whole lot to mention. It's a lot of droning going on. Not sure when or if we're going to see a move out here from Promise. This is the one thing that I feel like he's actually skipped a couple Zealots for sure. Like, he's really skimped to get everything else out, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but not putting pressure on your opponent when there's Zerg can backfire, right? Just because you're safe doesn't mean that you're in necessarily a good position, right? Like, out of all three races, the race that needs to be pressured the most is Zerg by far. If you just let Zerg do what they want in the early game, like, let's say that we turn StarCraft 1 into something where it's like no rush X minutes, right? And I don't know exactly how many minutes you want to make that, but Zerg would be the best race by far. Well, they already are, but you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, that's the only way to keep them in check is by putting on that pressure. So he hasn't done much of that. There's not a lot of military units that have had to be made. He's made 8 Lings total. That's not much. That's really low right now. Now, he is moving out with the 5 Zealots. Okay, I'm gonna force something. Mutas are being made. We have the Flyer Carapace as well. And I gotta tell you, like, he's gonna defend it with Mutalisks and the few Zerglings that he has. I think, honestly, he should have probably popped out, like, a couple more units. But Zerglings get 2-shotted by Zealots with +1. So here we go. Speed is done. He gets on top of those Zerglings immediately. A nice drone drill there. While there's still a Zergling left alive, so it does screw up the eye. He should drill them away now, though. XiaoShuai taking a ton of damage. Oh, man. You can't convince me that was right. Like, he should have pulled back there. Maybe he feels like he loses a hatchery if he does, but that was a lot of drones, man. That was a lot of drones that went down fighting the Zealots. He has the Mutas out now. We'll be able to pick off some of these Zealots on their way home as well. Corsair count is pretty decent. 4 Corsairs already. The +1 is a little over halfway done. It's actually lining up pretty well with the Carapace, though, so that's going to be countering that reasonably well. We'll see how many more Mutalisks XiaoShuai wants to make. Either way, he's actually droned out up again very, very quickly. No ground units being made. He's got 2 Zerglings total for that ground army. Making another sunken, it looks like, here as well. Ton of drones being sent down. Another group of Zealots being sent out onto the map for some additional harassment. Do you have enough Corsairs to bring with them? 5? 6? 6 Corsairs with +1 can 2-shot Scourge, right? If I'm getting my math right here. But the +1 Carapace is going to finish for XiaoShuai as well. So I think XiaoShuai is going to be all right. Now, he comes up with the Mutas. It's not that many Mutas. 5 Mutas takes a long time to kill this many Zealots. And you can see Promise right now targeting down drones as he can. We're down to 33 drones here again. Some of the Zealots pull out. Double Sunken will remain. So I think that's the end of those types of Zealot attacks. I think at this point, it's time to tech up a bit more. You can see Promise adding some more gateways. Psystorm a little over halfway done. Does have a couple High Templars in there. Let's take a look at this air army. Ooh, the Corsairs come out to fight. He's got 7, which is pretty solid. But again, don't forget, he does have that +1 Flyer Carapace. Just as the Corsairs have that +1 attack. All right, here come the Scourge. The Scourge going to zone out. Oh, my God. Beautiful zoning right now, keeping those Corsairs back. His Mutalisks, of course, jump onto the Photon Cannons and are going to be able to kill both of them off. A very annoying moment. Okay, the Scourge get on top of them and kill 3 Corsairs and damage 2 more. Oh! You kidding me? Oh, my God. He gets another kill there, and that was one of the fresh Corsairs. So that was very, very good as far as the Scourge went. He did kill a little bit in the main base. He's going to force those cannons back. Overall, the economy of Promise is still good, though, right? Like, we're still on a good, healthy 51 probes. He's getting his High Templars out. He's on 6 gates. Hydralisks are being switched into. We also have some well-placed Sunkens. So honestly, I don't think that there is any reason or any chance to make like a Zealot Archon attack work. That's something that we see a lot against Mutalisk openers. But it doesn't feel like this game really had that window for Promise. I think that this is where you get Dragoon range. Like, if he doesn't start Dragoon range really, really soon here, I will be a little bit confused. Zealot's still running around a little bit. Corsairs? Oh, he's still making a few Corsairs here. Are we going to see that Dragoon range, though? Like, honestly, I'm a little bit confused about it. I really feel like we need to see it. Anyways, the Mutas come in, try to harass again. Corsairs come up and try to fight the Scourge, having a very hard time. All right, Mutas. Oh, that storm. That storm. Absolutely amazingly good storm there. XiaoShuai taking a ton of damage. Still Corsairs left alive. Dragoons are starting to get produced. Still haven't seen that Dragoon range upgrade go. I mean, maybe he got it earlier and I didn't notice. I guess I'll shut up about it for a minute and see. But trying to break over the bridge now is Promise. A couple storms going to be going off onto these Hydras. His Zealots breaking through pretty quickly, pretty efficiently. In come the Mutas and more Scourge. So he's pushing back these Corsairs once again. And that's going to allow XiaoShuai's Mutas, well, I was going to say to help hold this, but then a beautiful storm comes down as well as an Archon morph. And he will end up losing all of the rest of the Mutas. But a lot of Hydras being made. And again, the SimCity is really good. The sunken placement really bugs out Zealot Archon. They have a hard time engaging those. So he is going to go ahead and pull back. This is a good game. Honestly, I think this is the best game in the group so far. It doesn't feel like Promise is just going to kill XiaoShuai. Like, XiaoShuai's defense is very, very good. He's actually remaking Mutalisks, probably because he's killed off a lot of Corsairs, and you generally stop Corsairs at this point. So maybe he'll be able to find something. By the way, Dragoon range is started now, so yeah, I was right about that. That is a beautiful Lurker Egg. Look at this Lurker Egg. Oh my god. Doing such a great job defending. That is such a hard-to-kill Sunken Colony. That thing's almost invincible. But this is a lot of Zealots. I was saying no one looks like they're about to die, but this could turn into some serious, serious damage. The Muta's starting to come out now. A Psy Storm comes out, and he actually flies into it for a moment. No Storm left there. He does have 2 Storms here. If he can storm those Mutas... Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, throws one down, but it gets dodged. It throws another down. It does do some damage. Kind of clips the Mutas there. The Archon gets picked off, so the Mutas will clean everything up now, but he lost this main hatchery. He lost some drones. We're down to 38 drones at this point for XiaoShuai. So overall, I think that attack from Promise was good, especially when you look at the fact that he has secured his 3rd base with this, even with a couple cannons. This is kind of an older style, almost, that we're seeing. Like, I feel like the Dragoon ads were a little bit late. So if he hadn't been able to do the amount of damage he did here with his Zealot High Templar army, I think we'd actually be looking at quite a different game where I'm like, wow, XiaoShuai is really, really looking strong right now. But the fact that he was able to do that damage with those units as well as get the Nexus up, and now he's going into Dragoons, and now he's getting his Observatory, I actually really like it for Promise. I like a lot of what he's done here. Now, XiaoShuai is not out of it. If you look at this supply, he actually has more army supply right now. So that's scary. When Zerg has more army supply than you, don't forget their units are just way more supply efficient, right? That's a big thing about Zerg. Anytime that they have more supply, they're definitely ahead. And even when they're behind in supply, you can look at it and be like, yeah, this looks pretty decent. Like, Hydra's 1 supply, right? Everything here is 2. Right? Zergling's half a supply. Everything here is 2. So when you see the supplies this close, he's down 10 drones, but they're about same supply. Well, damn, he's up in army supply right now. A lot of what happens here is going to be dictated by Psy Storms and dodging Psy Storms. As long as Promise sits on this side of the ramp, I don't think he can be killed. Now, does XiaoShuai try to take more bases? Or is he going to try to kill? Does he try to send units up here and then, like, come down the ramp and try to bust? Honestly, not entirely sure what we're going to see from XiaoShuai. Like, he is an aggressive player in general, but he does have a big range as well. Okay, he comes to the bridges. Now, there is the possibility to play a containment game, right? That's a big thing about this map in general. Containing these 3 bridges, not very hard. This area, leaving your base through this area, well, it makes everything very easy to counterattack, right? Well, you can get up here and secure this, but that's a pretty small area to contain as well. So, like, if you control this middle area, if we really zoom out, right? If you control this area, look, he's trying to come over the bridge. If you attack move instantly when they're coming over the bridge, it's so hard to get these units. But XiaoShuai, he's microing his mutas, but not attack moving the Hydras. If he sends the Hydras down, okay, starts to send them down now. Not many storms really remain. Another storm does go down. The Hydralisk count isn't enough to remove all of these Dragoons. I feel like he let him get a little bit further over the bridge than he should have, but he's going to push it back. He's going to kill a ton of Dragoons there. XiaoShuai maintains the contain. Starting to attack over the bridge a little bit. Does have a lurker there as well. A flank of Zealots comes in. This is huge. This flank of Zealots taking all this Hydra fire, which is allowing the Dragoons to pick off units from the other side. So the Zealots are now spent, but the Hydra count is lower. The Dragoons getting pushed back a bit more, but we do have more units coming out of these gateways, almost ready for some more Psy Storms. 2 storms about to appear. There's 1. There's 2. And he does weaken this once again. We don't have an observer that I can see around here. Okay, pops 1 out. These mineral patches almost dry. Honestly, Promise needs to clear up this area and use this as a defense point and this as a defense point. Because right now, that move over the ramp, you can see how badly that has injured him. XiaoShuai sets up his own 4th. But again, yeah, Promise has his own 4th going up as well. So there is a possibility for him. Like, he has just enough units that I'm not calling it at all. Like, it still feels like this can swing. Okay, Hydra's going over towards this 3rd base. This is a very bold move. XiaoShuai trying to clear it. The cannon's buying time, and up comes Promise's army, starting to storm down some of these Hydralisks. All right, he will force them away. Those cannons really saving the Nexus. I mean, if he didn't have cannons there, man, that Nexus would have died in seconds. Another Nexus is finishing. He's bringing a lot of Hydras up. There is, you know what? He might be able to kill this. He shoves everything up the ramp right this second. These units have to fight through the Hydras. Oh, the Hydras actually come up to target as well. So, yeah, that's a lot of damage output on the Nexus. It looks like the 4th base should be popped. And in fact, Promise just says, whatever. That's fine. It's gone. It's dead. What else can we do? Oh, God, the probes were already transferred. Oh, no. Loses a lot of the probes there. We're down to 1 mining base here for Promise. 1 mining base. XiaoShuai, well, XiaoShuai actually hasn't sent drones to his 4th, just using it as a macro hatchery right now. He has Hydras everywhere. Look at this. Hydras, 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 Hydras. Every bridge, every ramp just clogged up with Zerg units. Is Promise going to have enough to clean this out? I don't think so. His Psystorm count is extremely low now. He's got 2 High Templars, and neither of them have energy for Psystorm. Archon's simply not helpful in this situation. They die so quickly, 2 Hydras taking full damage the entire time. They don't have that type of range that you need either. And more Hydras come down. XiaoShuai putting out an excellent game here against Promise. Absolutely a fantastic losers match. But unfortunately for Promise, this does mean he'll be eliminated first, and XiaoShuai goes to the final match. All right, so finishing up Group G, our decider match here, we have Motive and we have XiaoShuai, apparently. Thank you to all the people who continue to help me to pronounce Chinese IDs correctly. It can be a little bit tough. I gotta say, if you just like read it the way the English letters work, it definitely does not look like that's what it says. But taking your guys' words for it, thank you for the corrections. But yeah, let's see what this is going to go down on Sylphid, right? We have a 9 pool coming up from XiaoShuai. As far as motive goes, he has got a forward gateway going up right now. So, well, not a forward gateway, but, you know, a gateway expansion is at the front of his base, part of his wall. He'll be trying to put on Zealot pressure. But, of course, against a 9 pool, you can't do that so easily. You know, you got to be very, very careful about those Zerglings possibly getting in. An aggressive opener here from XiaoShuai. And, yeah, sending his drone out as well, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and hit that probe at least a little bit. No gas, of course, so it's not something that's, like, super scary all-in type. I mean, it could turn into that, of course. If you see the gas, then you know that something's up. Now, a pylon going down. This may slow the Lings down. They may want to turn around and attack it, but instead, XiaoShuai going to go ahead, send his drone over, probably to this location, to take his first base. Now, the Lings going across the map. Forge gets started. One Zealot out. Second one's on the way. And, yeah, he's probably going to need to bring another probe, I think. Maybe even 2. You got to be a little bit careful here. Well, no, actually, I guess the second Zealot pops out before they get there. So that's like a pretty good defense. The 6 Lings can still maybe do something here. Like, attack the gate and try to force them out and then try to surround. Right? Like, this is a pretty common tactic that we see right here. See, the Zealot comes out, but you can't... If it gets surrounded, you might lose the game. Oh, he just wiggles it back. That was actually really, really close. Wow, Motive saves that probe. I can't believe he saved that probe. Oh, my God. I thought for sure that thing was dead. So actually, excellent micro there. Really from both sides. Now, Motive looks like he wants to go ahead and make his Nexus instead of the cannon. Saving up for that right now, and he is going to go ahead and put that down. He does have a 4th Zealot on the way. These 3 Zealots going across the map at the moment. The Lings maybe with a counterattack, but as a Zealot pops out, you know, the Lings, well, there's 5 and a couple of them have some damage on them. You know, they can beat this Zealot. He's trying to get around it. Oh my God, he actually goes for the pylon? That's kind of interesting. And yeah, the Zealot definitely needs to go fight against that. Now, the Lings actually can and will win this. The 4 Lings against the Zealot, when it gets surrounded like that, you're going to be in some trouble. So, kills that off, going after the probe as well. There's no cannon started. Obviously, this Zealot that pops out will easily kill that. In the meantime, Motive going in for some Zealot pressure. Zergling speed, as well as nothing but Zerglings being made right now by XiaoShuai. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a drone drill on top. Loses 2 drones so far, so that's a lot of damage. Only 8 drones remain against 19 probes. That is a huge advantage for Motive right now. Definitely not looking too good. Okay, very nice micro there from Motive, trying to get another drone. As these Zealots sitting up at the top as well, coming through those little holes in the mineral patches, getting as much damage as is possible. It's actually pretty insane what he's done with these, honestly. Like, these Zealots have more than paid for themselves. They're really, really hurting our Zerg player. 11 drones on 3 hatch. Not the greatest economy right now. Definitely needs to shut this down completely. Honestly, if I'm XiaoShuai, the way this has gone, I would probably make pretty much nothing but Zerglings at this point. You're about to have, yeah, Zergling speed just finished. You've taken a bunch of damage already. So it definitely feels like that's probably about as good as you're going to be able to do. Unfortunately, these Zealots are getting just so much value behind the mineral patches, buying so much time, kind of watching to see what's being made as well. And he will finally be able to kill that off. Some drones were being made, so you can kind of see, like, let's see, Overlord. Drone. Oh, XiaoShuai, maybe just kind of re-drone up. Maybe doesn't want to go for that, like, kind of Zergling all-in. Maybe it's too obvious or something like that. And, of course, with the Zealots constantly coming out and giving on pressure, like, if he sees a bunch of Zerglings popping out of these eggs with this Zealot, you just make some cannons at home, right? Like, if you add, for instance, let's say that you add 1 more cannon here, a Zergling bust will never work. Against 1 cannon, okay, you might have a shot on it. Right? It's kind of crazy how much 1 defensive structure can really change everything. Now, Hydralisk Den is coming up, so XiaoShuai has aggressive intentions here. You know, I thought it might be Zergling based, but it is going to be Hydralisk based. He's actually getting up to a pretty solid drone count right now. See, we have the 9. Well, we only have 1 here. That's unfortunate. Let's take off that vision. He can't see the Hydralisk Den where it is. Okay, just want to make that clear. Adding more drones. And 8 here, 3, 4 here. and still got the 9. Okay, so he actually has more than enough drones for a 3-hatch Hydra bust. We'll see if he's able to pull something off with that. Speed on the way. We have right now 4 Zealots coming, as well as a Corsair. This is not looking very good. He has so few units, and he continues to drone. Kind of surprising. Maybe this isn't a bust. It's like 3-hatch Hydra, but like in a defensive manner? But it looks like that isn't going to work either. 4 Zealots walk in, and there's only a single Hydralisk here. Don't forget, we have this Zealot there as well, so as soon as those Lings move, this one can come out, and that's exactly what happens. Drones drilling on top of everything. More Zerglings popping out to fight. No +1 on the Zealots, so they will fight reasonably well. But obviously, this is a bad situation right now for XiaoShuai. And... like, honestly, this is so unbelievably bad. He's supply blocked at 27 of 27, 58 supply across the map. Like, his Hydralisk Den might actually get killed. In fact, it's going to get killed. Not only is it going to get killed, like, he's making 5 Overlords to unsupply block. It's like 1 Hydralisk. This game, I think, is just about over. GG. Motive advances to the round of 16.